Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So, Eagles-Dolphins joint practice, one of two practices. The last week of preseason is here. Thank God. Can't wait till the regular season to start, but definitely a lot of news between the offense, the defense today. The Eagles going to Miami. Very hot day out there today. And, you know, a lot to talk about with this roster, some injuries and some other stuff that are going on. So I thought Hurts had a really good day today. I thought the defense stepped up. Some injuries kind of limited us from how good we can actually do today. So it's been kind of crazy. So I want to go over the injury report really fast, like how we always do this. We're going to be jumping back and forth nonstop throughout, you know, mixed up news and stuff like that. So I'm going to be back and forth in this video a little bit like I am with every video, but should be interesting. But the injury report as of right now, okay, so players did not practice. You had Jack Anderson with ribs, Sean Bradley with an illness, Christian Ellis with a hamstring, Hargrave is still out with that toe. Josh Jobe, that's a new one here with an elbow. How serious it is, I don't know. Jason Kelsey, elbow. Miles Sanders, hamstring, still out with the hamstring so far. Not even limited yet. Josiah Scott with a hamstring. Greg Ward with a toe, and Greg Ward is still out. He didn't even make it to these Browns practices. The day before the Browns joint practice, he was limited, and then he went back to will not practice. So still not good as of right now. The only good thing is that James Bradbury was limited, but he didn't do any team drills. So pretty much James Bradbury barely even practiced today. Didn't practice at all today. So I wouldn't put too much on it. I thought with the 1v1s today, they did pretty good. I think A.J. Brown had a one-handed catch on the left sideline against Xavier Howard. Obviously, Xavier Howard, one of the best corners in the league. I don't know if he just got a new deal, but I thought he got a new deal. Could be wrong. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. Definitely wanted him a couple years ago. But a good matchup there, I thought, throughout this camp, at least this joint practice. Now, Tyreek Hill was an absolute problem today. You can't cover Tyreek Hill. You can't. I mean, if you're doing 1v1s against Tyreek Hill, it's almost impossible. And he beat us almost every single time. I mean, almost every single time. Big Play Slay had a big problem with him today, okay? Now, this video surfaced, and everybody's like, oh, my God. Now, Slay actually had good coverage on him and then kind of stumbled and lost him. I think he was in good position to at least cover him really well, but unfortunately, he stumbled, and that was it. Apparently, he has a leg injury. I haven't heard any updates on it. I haven't heard it was even serious because he walked back on his own and he was totally fine. Could be cramps, could be stretched out his leg a little bit too much. I don't know. I mean, maybe he just had a dead leg right there. It could be almost anything. Okay, he wasn't carted off the field, nothing like that. Slay ended up coming in like 5 minutes later, coming back into the mix against Tyreek Hill again. Then he limped again, and then, you know, the Eagles pretty much sat him the rest of practice. So you were down Bradbury, you were down Big Play Slay. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything on this yet. From what it looked like, it doesn't look bad. And obviously there's a lot of, you're not playing any starters this week. So all of this is just for good looks, for getting some work done. Other than that, these teams' starters aren't playing this week. We're resting our starters this week. Nobody is playing. You have a few more weeks to rest your guys. I'm not worried about it. Trust me, if it was that bad, it would seem to have, the tweets would have been coming out that it was a pretty bad injury. So I'm not really alarmed by this at all. Everyone else is kind of freaking out about it. If you have to, he's going to miss some time. If he has to miss a week, it's not like, we're going to be practicing. We're going to be practicing in training camp. We're going to be doing things, but give Slay as much rest as possible. I'm not even worried about the time we have from now until obviously the first game of the season. So I'm not worried about it. But Tyreek Hill's a beast. Got paid all that money from Miami, and you know what I mean? Is trying to be Tua's number one weapon, and he's going to have probably a really good year this year. But we couldn't. You can't cover him. It's impossible. You're better off having a defense behind you. There's no way you can even get this done. So I'm not making a big deal out of it. It's Tyreek Hill. There's no player like this in the NFL at wide receiver. than Tyreek Hill that can get that separation on you. It's kind of, I mean, even on the 11 on 11s, he was getting 30-yard separation. I mean, it was that bad. You know, you're down to your starting corners in this, you know, you're gonna get burnt. Really, besides Josh Jobe and McPherson, you know, and I'm not saying those guys did perfect today. They probably got burnt all day today. You know, since Jobe was out today and didn't practice, it was McPherson and probably somebody else. Could be Tay Gowan. I mean, you know, someone, you know, Kerry Vincent Jr. hasn't even been cut yet, and that guy was horrible in the last preseason game. So it could have been almost anybody. So we were pretty much depleted at corner today when it came to some of these matchups with the Miami Dolphins. So definitely Tyreek Hill did a number on us today, which I'm not surprised. You know, I knew it was going to happen, so I'm not even surprised. Now, Reed Sinnett obviously had 2 picks and 7-on-7s, did not play well today. So not really thinking too much about Reed Sinnett, but I'm thinking about, you know, there was no Carson Strong news at all. I didn't see anything today, unless someone in the comment section can tell me if he did anything, because I saw nothing on Carson Strong. This Carson Strong situation is just getting weirder by the day, by the week. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm hoping to see Carson Strong this Saturday. There's always theories about why they're not playing him. Is he secretly the backup quarterback? I don't know what's going on with Carson Strong. It's just absolutely insane right now. If you want to talk about somebody who had a good day today, Devonta Smith had a great day. 1-on-1, 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s. I thought Devonta Smith played really well. He caught everything coming his way. Everything. So, Devonta Smith with a monster day today. He mossed Nick Needham for a 30-yard gain. Hurts put a little bit of air on it, and he went up and got it. So, Devonta Smith just being very productive throughout these scrimmages. His route running and mostly, you know, just what Devonta Smith brings to the table when it comes to what he does, how explosive he is off the line, and just getting that separation and being very crafty in his route running is fantastic. So absolutely love it. Zach Pascal was targeted multiple times for really good catches. Zach Pascal is very underrated, and it's showing to me that I didn't realize how fast he was. And I think a lot of Eagles fans have talked about, man, I didn't realize how fast he was. And look, you watch some of these preseason games where he catches one ball for 25, 30 yards. I mean, it looks really good. Is Zach Pascal going to be more situational? I mean, I hope so, but, you know, if you never know, if somebody goes down, Zach Pascal could take a lot of reps. He's had reps with the Colts in the past couple seasons, being a number 1 to a number 2 to a number 3. He has moved up the depth chart and had to be that main guy. So has a lot of experience with that, and I wouldn't mind him as a situational red zone inside the 20, you know, type. Short yardage wide receiver if you just need that quick yard gain, and using his body to make these big catches, which I'm very happy, because I think Zach Pascal as a whole coming into this offense and this receiver room, especially getting A.J. Brown was exciting. I mean, Zach Pascal was I think the second signing, and we were looking to get that veteran receiver, and we were like, I hope this isn't just the only move that we're going to make, but getting A.J. Brown on top of having Zach Pascal was probably it was definitely one of the biggest moves, and obviously made it a lot sweeter and better. So it was pretty cool. So Hurts was on 7-on-7s, you know, threw some really good, a couple good balls to Brown. Rager caught a couple today. Now it was nice to look at some of the Miami beat writers talking about Jalen Hurts and saying he looks powerful while throwing the ball. Looks powerful, looks stronger, which was really good. It's nice to hear from different beat writers from another team. You're not looking at the same guys, you know, saying certain things. You just get annoyed sometimes. But the Miami beat writers, I think one of them was talking about how powerful he looked out there throwing the football, and just looked better than what he did last season. So it was nice to really hear that from and a perspective from another beat writer from another team. So that was pretty cool. Obviously, there was a couple fights today. I think there was one fight with the offensive line, defensive line for the Eagles and Dolphins. I think the Eagles made a really good block, and then I think a couple of guys got into it. I think it was Derek Barnett, and it seems like everybody hates Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett pisses off everybody. I swear to God, I'm starting to realize now that Derek Barnett pisses off everybody. We heard that with Andre Dillard was pissed off by Barnett because he kept hitting him in the helmet. Or something like that. So Derek Barnett is just, I don't know. That's just what he does. He pisses everybody off. And I guess a little bit of a scuffle broke out. I think A.J. Brown got involved a little bit. So it was kind of crazy today. It was kind of crazy. And it was hot out today. Apparently, it was a really hot day in Miami today. I think another thing we could talk about is the kick returner. Now, Britton Covey took all of the reps at kick return, okay? He actually had a pretty good day. He juked a few defenders, and he looked very explosive, apparently. So it's nice to hear that. We haven't seen anything in a preseason game yet, okay? We haven't seen anything in the preseason game when it comes to Britton Covey. Covey, I think, only had 5 yards between him being a receiver and a returner on special teams. So maybe we're seeing something that we're not. I don't know. Maybe there's just not enough opportunities for Britton Covey. Is he making this roster? I have no idea. Trying to figure out if who is even the 5th receiver at this point, or if they're keeping 6 receivers at this point. But we'll see down the road. Hopefully Britton Covey has a good game on Saturday. Is he showing, since Nick Sirianni values these scrimmages, these scrimmage practices, these joint practices, is he valuing these from what players do in these joint practices more than what he's evaluating during the preseason? Because in preseason, it's not like Britton Covey's playing with the 1s or the 2s, okay? And it's not like he's had a good quarterback throw to him either, and for special teams, mostly they've been switching out, and this is what they do throughout the whole preseason. This is how they find out that what they need on special teams. Special teamers, whether you're a gunner, you're blocking, whatever the case may be, they're always switching guys in and out. They probably have 3 different teams for special teams. You know what I mean? They're switching guys in and out, subbing guys in and out constantly. So does Britton Covey have a fair chance? How has he had a fair chance? Because, there were some times where on a punt return or a kick return to Covey that some of the blocking was horrible. And then there were times where Covey should have took it from the end zone. He just lets it go in the end zone, which I don't get why he let that happen. So Nick could be evaluating these joint practices more than these preseason games. So, and I think he takes it into more account, which definitely makes sense on Britton Covey's case and a lot of other players that need to make this roster too. So it's nice hearing some good news on Britton Covey. Now, defensively today, it looks like Fletcher Cox and Davis did pretty good against the Dolphins' offensive line. They were really I think it was Cox and Davis started today because Hargrave was out. So the run game was not working for the Dolphins at all today. I mean, it kind of makes sense. With Jordan Davis, we're just getting in the backfield constantly today, which was good. Oh, yeah, I talked about Slay. Tua that was carving up the defense. We had no corners, guys. I mean, we were down 3 corners. We were down Slay. By the time we got to 11-on-11s, we were down Slay. We were down Bradbury. We were down Josh Jobe. So, I mean, you're down 3 corners. You're down to Zach Tay, Carey Vincent Jr. You already released Blackwell. I mean, you're down to almost nothing. The back end of our corners has not looked good. Mario Goodrich, I mean, it just hasn't looked good at all. Other than, obviously, Josh Jobe we'll talk about later on. But nothing much there. We got carved 20, 30-yard receptions. I mean, we were getting carved up a little bit in the passing game. I mean, you're out 2, 3 cornerbacks that potentially could start for the team. Well, 2 of them are your starters, and Jobe is obviously a backup. But, that's it. I mean, other than that, McPherson hasn't really rised up ever since maybe a couple weeks ago. I mean, I haven't really heard his name too much. I mean, Jobe has been the talk of camp. And I'll say this right now since we're already at Josh Jobe. Now, he wasn't practicing today, but Gannon did talk about Josh Jobe and talk about his good coverage skills and, that they really liked him from Alabama, that they knew that there was something in him when he came into the building. He's trying to fight for a roster spot right now. So Gannon feels very high on Josh Jobe, which is really good, and can't really complain at all whatsoever. So glad that he's getting some recognition. Let's see, Nakobe Dean. So Nakobe Dean started with the first team today. Hassan Reddick went in the backfield untouched for a sack. Dolphins. Like I said, Dolphins were very chippy today. There was a couple fights today, nothing crazy, a couple scuffles today, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, Quez Watkins caught like a 20-yard pass from Hurts in the 11-on-11. So, I mean, look, you had some injuries today. I mean, defensively, offensively, I thought they were fine. A lot of people saying there was a lot of checkdowns, some intermediate routes, middle of the field, which was good because I want them to pass more middle of the field instead of doing, comebacks and go routes. And, I want to see more middle of the field throws, which we really need. I think we're going to do that, which is good. Like I said, Slay being hurt was a big one today, but I'm not even worried about it. I don't think it's serious because he walked off. He was totally fine. He walked off the first time. He came back into practice and then had to walk off again. Either it was a dead leg, it was cramps, it was dehydration. It could have been almost anything at this point. It's not like he was carted off the field or whatnot. And there's so much time before the season starts, so I'm not even worried about it. If we had a game tomorrow, then yeah, I'd be worried about it. But I'm not worried about it as of right now. It's hot out. God knows what it could be. I don't know what it's going to be. Until we get an update on it, we'll find out. Unless an update already came out just now. I have no idea because I'm not on Twitter right now, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But really, other than that, that's pretty much it. Tyreek Hill is just impossible to cover. Defensive line did good today. Against the run, against Miami's run, we were totally fine. Totally fine today. But, you're going to give up a lot of yards when you're down 3 corners for the day. You were down 3 corners. There's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you could do. Reed Sinnett had a bad day. I didn't hear much on Minshew. Didn't hear nothing on Carson Strong as usual because we locked him up in a bank vault, so he's protected by the CIA for some reason. I don't know why. But, it's not all this, it matters. This matters. This joint practice does matter for, obviously, the work is getting put in by the Eagles, but it's not going to matter for Saturday. Saturday, the Eagles play at 7 o'clock against the Dolphins, and this is the last preseason game, and no stars are playing. So, it doesn't mean much. It's just more of the back end of our roster for observation on some guys making that final push to make this roster on Saturday. I didn't see Calcaterra's name on the injury report, so maybe he was a full go. So hopefully he should be a full go because he was limited the past couple days. So he should be good to go. And we'll see what happens. Even if Bradbury's, just remember, there's going to be no starters. I mean, there's going to be some backups in there because they have to play. They gotta fill some guys for some of these games, and that's pretty much it. After tomorrow, one more day of joint practice with the Dolphins, and that's it. So we're probably going to see a really bad day from the defense tomorrow when it comes to the passing game. You'll probably be down another 3 corners yet again unless Bradbury comes back tomorrow, which I highly doubt. If they even feel a little discomfort, they're probably going to sit out this whole entire week. There's no doubt about it. So other than that, that's pretty much it. I know it was a long video, but definitely want to reminisce and go over everything when it comes to Eagles training camp and obviously these joint practices, the last bit of joint practices against the Dolphins, the last week of preseason. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. We cover the Eagles every single day, and we will be back tomorrow with another Eagles joint practice video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.